Hello, how are you doing? Afternoon. I just thought I'd do that to see if it's a nicer intro to me coming on and messing around with screens for the first couple of minutes of the broadcast. I hope it didn't confuse anyone. Welcome anyway. Good afternoon. It's great to see you. I hope that I'm coming through loud and clear and that everything is sounding nice. And I hope that you are well. That's important too. It's a bit of a grey afternoon here in Nottingham. So I've not really been outside all that much. But anyway, here we go. Broadcasting as per usual on my Facebook page. And I'm trying to do this on YouTube as well. Don't know how that's going to go. Let me know. I will see if it's we'll see if it's working, if it's going through as it should. But yeah, got to try these things and see how they go. So a few really exciting things, or things that I think are really exciting to talk about today. First and foremost, where is it? Where am I talking about? First and foremost, this one. There we are. Koh Tao, the novella that precedes the prequel novella to Kathmandu, is out and about on Friday. It's being released on Friday, which I'm really excited about. I'm going to tell you right now how you get that and what we're going to do about this, right? It is going to be available to people on my mailing list on Friday, only to people on my mailing list. And I'm going to try something completely new with this, all right? I'm going to do a Facebook Live today, obviously, at 5 o'clock, tomorrow at 5 o'clock, and Friday at 5 o'clock. And that email with the link that you need to buy this book will be emailed out whilst I'm on air. Okay, I'm going to do that live. So if you want to read this in the next month, you need to be on my mailing list. There's no other way to do it. It's not going to be on Amazon. It's not going to be on it's not going to be on my Facebook page. It's not going to be on any other way but on that mailing list for a whole month. Okay, which is really important. So you need to make sure you're there for that. Hello, Steve. Thank you for joining me. Hi, Alison. Thank you for joining me. It's great to see you both. I hope you are both well and keeping safe and all that sort of thing. Yeah, that's it. I'm going to read you the blurb, actually, of Koh Tao. I've got it over here. All the information about the book, in fact, is on this address here, Luke Richardson, author, /Koh Tao. Everything you need to know about it is there. I'm going to read you the blurb because I'm quite proud of it. It's the prequel novella to my Leo Keane international thriller series. Leo and Maya are traveling the world. It might be the trip of a lifetime, but Leo has only one thing on his mind: finding the perfect place to ask Maya to marry him. And when they arrive at their trip's final destination, the Thai tropical paradise of Koh Tao, he thinks he's found it. But before he gets his answer, Maya is nowhere to be seen. On searching the resort, his tranquility turns to turmoil. Is it a practical joke? Has Maya ran away? Or is it something much more sinister? Leo seeks help from the island's police force, but when they rapidly arrest Omar, a migrant hotel worker, and close the case, Leo suspects a cover-up. In order to even begin to learn the truth about Maya's disappearance, Leo needs to prove Omar innocent. But with him being shipped to the notorious prison on Koh Samui on the next ferry, every second counts. Set 2 years before Kathmandu, this compulsive novella turns back the clock on a man struggling to deal with anxiety and battle powerful forces in a foreign land. I'm really pleased with it. Yeah, absolutely buzzing to be able to bring this to you on Friday. In a moment, I'm going to share with you some of the things that my pre-readers, my A-team, I call them my A-team because I used to love the A-team a few years ago. Still do, actually. Great stories. What's not to like about a bunch of guys turning, fighting bad guys? Amazing. What couldn't you learn about storytelling? Great storytelling from the A-team. I'm going to be sharing some of what my better readers think about that. Alison says the bird song was very loud on my phone. I know. I just wanted something to introduce the thing. I thought some jungle noise might be good. I'm going to do that. But first of all, I want to introduce to you my question of the week. We've done this for the last few weeks. I've asked you guys a question. I'll give you a little bit of time to think about it before we discuss it at the end of the broadcast in a few minutes' time. I have asked my mailing list this before, but I think it's something that is still open for sort of discovery, open for discussion. Today's question: where do you think I should set my next book? As you know, I've got one. You can't see them because this is up. I've got one in Kathmandu. There it is. I've got one in Hong Kong, Berlin, New York is coming, Koh Tao is coming as well. Where do you think the next one should be? Pop your answers in the comments and tell me why. That's the interesting thing. Don't just put like, Dagenham, Hull, something like that, and don't tell me why. If you think Dagenham or Hull or Brentford or St Ives or Stornoway or Lyon or anywhere, just tell me why. I'm interested to know what you think. And these ideas will seriously be considered, actually, because I've got a story in my mind for a future Leo Keane adventure, which I might share in a future Facebook Live, actually give you a little bit of a sort of premise of it to give you an idea. Actually, would you be interested in that? Let me know. Comments. Would you be interested in me sort of discussing a story idea with you, like a concept that I've got before it's been developed, just to sort of, be part of that? I'll tell you like the bones of it and what I think's going to happen. I wouldn't ruin the twist or anything, but give you sort of the bare bones of that. What do you think? Would you be interested in that? Let me know. We'll discuss those things in a minute. Okay, we'll discuss those things in a minute. First of all, I want to share with you my review of the week. I do this every single week. Reviews make a massive difference to me. I love reading them. I've got over a little bit my fear of reading reviews. I think I've put that to bed a little bit, and I'm happy to read them now. I do avoid the 1 stars if there are any of those. I do just skip past them. Actually, I don't read those in detail because the person that have done them probably haven't picked up the book thinking, knowing what it's about. I have so many 4 and 5 star ones. Not to worry. These are 2 that have come in this week. They're for Berlin. If you're listening to this and you haven't had a chance to review my books yet, it really does make a massive difference. I cannot stress that enough. For a load of reasons. Number 1, I love to talk about them on my Facebook Lives and in my mailing list. Number 2, it shows book selling websites that I'm doing a good job. So they're more likely to push my book to other people. And number 3, it helps people, people that are on the fence about buying. They're not quite convinced. They scroll down, they see a load of reviews. They're more likely to jump straight in. And I've been a little bit cheeky today because I've picked 2. And they're for Berlin. One was very, very short, though. Berlin, the book, has a very similar place. Berlin, the book, has a very similar place as Berlin, the city. It's fast-paced, full of information, full of people, strong nightlife, multicultural. Leo and Alyssa have developed as partners. Their friendship is also evolving, as well as their hunting people business. Although the plot is less dense than in the other previous books, it's compensated by fast-moving scenes and actions. Very good, entertaining material and easy to read. That's one. And I snuck this second one in. For me, this is the best one in the series yet. Love his style. Stayed up into the wee hours of the morning to finish it. Can't wait for the next adventure. So that was you that said that. I hope you're on my mailing list so that you can get Koh Tao in the next, so that you can get Koh Tao on Friday. Right. What are we talking about? The discussion. Where do you think I should set my next book? Let's have a look. Steve says Mexico City, and he'll take me on a tour. Do you know what? I'd love that. I love those sort of sprawling, those sprawling, big, boisterous cities like Mexico City. And Steve says that's amazing for my style and genre. Yeah, I think so. Alison, Norway, a fantastic place to bury someone in ice while looking at the northern lights. Alison, I'm not going to get on your wrong side with comments like that. Absolutely. No, I agree with you, to be fair. I think that's I've never been to Norway. I'd like to go to see some of the views they have there. Look incredible, don't they, with the northern lights and the fjords and the what do they call them? Big glaciers, that's the word. Big blocks of ice and that sort of stuff. Yeah, you're absolutely right. We'll continue discussing this question. Also, if you're watching this not live, if you're watching this afterwards, feel free to pop that in the comments. And we'll I might drop into a couple tomorrow or something. I continue to read them after the broadcast as well. Where do you think I should set my next book? That's the question that I'm asking you. I wanted to share with you a couple of the things that my pre-readers, my A team, are saying about Koh Tao. There's the cover. I'm really, really pleased with it. As you know, you have to go here. No, that's not it. You have to go here to get your information, and you need to be on that mailing list in order to get that on Friday. That's just the way it is. That's just the way it is. Here's some of the reviews. The story grabs you. You're on the boat with your stomach pitching. There's a boat scene at the start. In fact, I shared that last week. As the story gathers pace, the tension is palpable. It's a page turner which keeps you hooked until the final word. Intense, thrilling, mysterious, and captivating. I like that one. The evocative writing takes you to a place of white sand, the turquoise sea, and tranquility. But on the island of injustice and exploitation, tranquility is the last thing that Leo finds. And finally, highly recommend to anyone who loves adventure and travel. Thank you if you're on my A team and those reviews are down to you. That's brilliant. They make all the difference just so that I can show people these things. So that is out on Friday, but you need to be on the mailing list in order to do that. One more thing, then I'll have a look at the comments again to see if anyone else has jumped in for this. I'll discuss a couple of the things, a couple of places that I'm thinking, because I've got some ideas in my mind as to where I could go. Hold on, let me just share this video actually. Here we go. For some reason, it takes a few minutes for the Facebook Live share button to appear. So it doesn't appear straight away. It's quite frustrating. I don't know why it doesn't do that. Okay, it's shared now. So we'll see if that makes a difference. Yeah, in a couple of minutes, we'll come back and we'll talk about this again. That's the question we're discussing. Where do you think I should set my next book? I've got a couple of ideas of places I'd like. And I've got a story idea. Would you be interested in hearing my story ideas before they're a fully fledged book? Or do you think just not like the twists and turns, just the premise of the story? And what do you think about that? Before that, though, I just want to talk to you about this, my first novel, Kathmandu. I've been giving it away for the last week. I've had about 500, I think, people have got that now, which I'm really pleased with. If you've read it and you want to recommend it to someone, please share that link. I'm giving this away for the next couple of weeks because I think I've got a number of books out now. You know, I can afford to give one away, and if people like it, they'll go on and read 2 and 3. So I don't mind that now. When I had one, I was a bit more precious about it, but now I've got, and there'll be another one come in and all that sort of thing. So I'm giving this away. It will be for a limited time, probably for about another 2, maybe 3 weeks. So that is going to be limited, I think. So, you know, if you've got someone that would really like this, someone that would really like this, please share that. Thank you to people that have been doing that already. You go to the link there, Kathmandu giveaway, and you enter your email address and I'll send that straight over to you. It's got, I think, 60 something 5-star reviews now and all these. Yeah, I'm pleased with it. I'm really pleased. There's an audio book as well, but that's not free at the moment, I'm afraid. But if you want to read it in the old fashioned way with a, on the page, on paper with words, that's there. Okay, setting. This is what we're discussing. Where do you think I should set my next book? I think I've got a couple of ideas. I mean, I love travel. You know that. I'm all talking about it. All my photos are here, all my traveling pictures. I'm always talking about those sorts of things. So I've got a couple of ideas of places I'd like to set it. Let's have a look. John, great. Thanks for joining. Thanks for joining us. Where do you think, John? Nairobi. I've been there and it's in a place of extreme differences. Yes. And you know what I've thought of Nairobi? Because if my geography is correct, John, and correct me if I'm not, it's in Kenya, the capital of Kenya. Is that correct? Or is it, am I wrong? Am I out of the... Anyway, my reason for saying that is because Alyssa's mother is Kenyan. And in Kathmandu, we learn about her mother. And I love the idea of tying that loop at some point. Maybe she gets an idea about, some indication that what she thinks happened. I'm just going to try not to reveal anything. What she thinks happened maybe didn't happen, and they go there to think about that. So I absolutely agree with that. No one's jumped on to say, no, Luke, your geography's rubbish. Stop it. No one's jumped on for that. So no, that's good. Steve, Sydney would also be great. Yeah, I mean, Steve and I, one of our books is set in Sydney. Yes, John, I got it right. Fantastic. I was a bit worried then about saying that, committing myself to saying that. Yeah, Sydney would be a great place. I've one of the books that Steve and I've written is in Sydney, and I had to research it. I've not been, and I would love to go and will at some stage, but it was great to research, and it was great to sort of think about that place. So where do you think I should set my next book if you've just joined us? In fact, let me do the total update. If you've just joined us, welcome. It's great that you're here. I do these Facebook Lives every week. I'm not going to talk for much longer, only a couple more minutes, because this week I'm going to do one tomorrow and I'm going to do one on Friday. And during the Facebook Live on Friday, I will send the email live. I send the email live that will release Koh Tao. What could possibly go wrong? I will also have a beer in my hand whilst I'm doing that, so I can cheers you all, because it's, you know, book release time. It's a bit of a, well, hey, bit of a party. I might even play some music. Yeah, Steve says he almost forgot. Steve, you've got so many books. I wonder, you know, I don't know how you can keep track of them all anyway, mate. But one of the books that Steve and I is writing is also in Dubai, and I wrote the first draft of that a couple of months ago in January, and I'd quite like to send Leo and Alyssa there as well. I wonder, Steve, I was thinking about this, whether there could be some like interconnection at some way. You know, they're both our characters in our book, and Leo and Alyssa in my book are eating at the same restaurant at different tables, you know, or they wander past each other, and only real fans would pick that out. But we'd know it was there. I think that could be important. Steve, what emoji is that? Oh, it's a smiley thing. Yeah. Oh, fantastic. So yeah, thank you for your comments. So yeah, Dubai was one. Istanbul is another. I visited Istanbul in 2016, I think, or 2015, something like that, and absolutely loved it. It's such an amazing city, such a beautiful place. I'd love to go back, and I'd like to go there and spend a little longer. I only spent a week there, and that's long enough to go and see the sights and be a tourist, but it's not long enough to really sort of get into the, you know, into the mindset of the place. So yeah, that would be one that I'd like to go there. But oh, for sure, yeah, Steve likes the idea of our characters. Do you think you'd notice, John? I know you've read a lot of my books, and I know Alison's read my books and a few of Steve's. So do you think you'd notice, guys, if one of the characters from one book popped up in another? Would that be off-putting? Do you think you'd have to look back at the cover and be like, whose book is this anyway? Mombasa, yes, Mombasa's on the coast, isn't it? Yeah, I know that would be great. I'd love that, and it's a part of the world I have never been to, that coast of Africa, so I'd love to go. So many travel places, aren't there? That's the thing. You could go a different place forever. I suppose that's what Steve does for his job. We're traveling around all the time. But yeah, absolutely right. Headlines again. To get this for this book, I'm going to be releasing on Friday. I'm going to be going live every day this week at 5 o'clock to tell you about it. And for more information, there's the link. And I'll be releasing it Friday at 5 live on Facebook. I'll send the email that will release that book. But in order to get it, in order to read it for the next month, you need to be on that mailing list. It's not going to happen otherwise. I'm sorry. It's not going to be on Amazon. It's not going to be on any other seller. It's not going to be available anywhere other than on that mailing list for 1 month. Right. Thank you so much for joining me as ever. I'll be back tomorrow. And tomorrow I'm going to be talking about the location of Koh Tao. I'm going to be telling you why I chose that. I'll show you some of my photos. I've got a few things to tell you about why I've picked such an amazing location for this prequel. Right. John says it'd be great actually to see characters swapping over into different books. I think so too, John. Absolutely. I'm not getting distracted. See you all tomorrow. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.